Dear students, in a first year, I did a simple one topic I did already. The topic name is called physical world. After that, you learn two more topics. One is units and measurement, and the one is motion in a straight line. These two topics you learn. And continuation of that in a part 1 book itself, the 4th chapter is called motion in a plane. Dear student, for exam purpose, it may be a competitive exam or it may be an annual exam. This topic or this chapter is one of the important chapter. Here mainly we are going to discuss the two important part. One is related to vectors. One is related to vectors and the one is related to projectile motion. Keep these 2 points in your mind. Under this topic, we are going to learn two important parts. One is related to vectors and the one is related to projectile motion. And before starting this concept or this chapter, we'll discuss few introduction part related to this chapter. Dear student, in a motion in a straight line topic itself, you learn what are the basic requirement to study the mechanics. Like you learn the definition of motion, you learn the velocity, you learn the definition of acceleration, you learn the displacement concept, path length concept, all those things you learn. Depending on that, one of the important term, you learn kinematic equation. The kinematic equation concept also you learn. And by using that kinematic equation, you learn few important numerical also. Along with that, if a particle is thrown above under the influence of gravity, what happens to kinematic equation, that we learn. Or if it is thrown below, what happens to kinematic equation, that also you will learn. And related to that, you learn so many important numericals you learn. ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿ ಗೋನ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೈನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಐಡಿಯಾ ತಗೊಳ್ಳುವ. ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಬೈ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಗೋನ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಮೋಷನ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಪ್ಲೇನ್. ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್, ಈ ಟಾಪಿಕಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ವಿ ಗೋನ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಟೂ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ projectile motion. ಇದನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ few things are required that I will explain today. Dear student, before starting this, first we start with the term called, I already explained about this, the term called physical quantity. In my introduction part, in a starting itself, in a first video itself, I already explained about physical quantity, where physical quantity is nothing but it is a quantity having proper definition. It can be measurable, it can be observable. I clearly gave the definition for that. Any quantity it have proper definition. Keep this point in your mind. Any quantity it have proper definition. That quantity is measurable, that quantity is observable, These are the three important requirements to say any quantity as a physical quantity. Dear student, under physical quantity you learn two types. ಎರಡು types ಅನ್ನ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಿ, already I explained. The two types of physical quantity called scalar quantity and vector quantity. These two things I already explained. Scalar quantity is the one quantity got only magnitude. Remember, scalar quantity is the one quantity got only magnitude, no direction. That quantity we called scalar. And vector quantity is the one, the physical quantity got both magnitude and direction. That quantity we call as vector quantity. Dear student, about these two things I already explained. I already gave an introduction part to physics. In that I already explained about physical quantity and two types of physical quantity. Keep this result in your mind. There are two types. One is called scalar quantity and the one is called vector quantity. Scalar quantity anta helidare physical quantity which got only magnitude. If I say I'm the person, I'm traveling with a speed or velocity 20 meter per second towards north. Here 20 is there. Now it is a value, or 20 ಅನ್ನೋದು value, ಅದು magnitude. Towards east or towards north or towards west, what are the direction I indicate? that we call it as direction of that physical quantity. ಕೆಲವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಲವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಎರಡು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಎನಿ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ got only magnitude, no direction, that we call it as scalar. And any physical quantity got both magnitude and direction, that we call it as vector. And again, in case of scalar quantity, we can see the number of examples in physics. And example we can take like mass. Mass is one of the best example for scalar quantity. Mass, if I say 10 kg mass, 10 is the magnitude, there is no direction for mass. If I take the next term called weight, weight is not a scalar because weight got a particular direction. If I say weight of my body is 70 kg, remember where the weight of my body is acting? Towards earth, it got a direction. Automatically weight is the best example for which quantity? Vector quantity. It got a magnitude 70 kg magnitude. It have direction because weight of my body is depending on the acceleration due to gravity of earth, 9.8 meter per second square. Adar mele depend agi we can think about weight. Just imagine nannanne on the surface of earth ತಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, on the surface of earth my body got mass as well as weight. ಎರಡು ಇದೆ. ಅದೇ if I am moving to the center of the earth, dear student, you already heard about that. At the center of the earth, acceleration due to gravity is 0. At the center of the earth, my body got only mass, there is no weight. My body got only mass. ನನ್ನ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಮಾಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, weight iralla, because gravity is equal to 0. And again, remember one more thing clearly here. These two are the term. You heard about mass. Mass is a scalar quantity. Itke direction illa, magnitude matra ide. Second one, you heard about weight also. Weight of a body. It got both magnitude and direction. And along with that, we can see the few more example. If I provide example like length or distance or radius, it got only magnitude, there is no direction. Or you can take an example like time. Time also not have any direction, it got only magnitude. Remember, mass, length and time, these three are the basic physical quantities. We call it as fundamental quantities. And again, in an SI system, you learn 7 basic or fundamental quantities, starting from length, after that mass, after that time, after that electric current, after that amount of substance, after that luminosity, after that temperature. You learn 7 basic quantity. Remember, these are called fundamental quantities. Adar jote you learn 2 supplementary quantity in SI system we call solid angle and plane angle. You learn a unit called steradian and radian. Keep these results in your mind. In that, I taken 3 basic quantity like mass, length, time. You can take work done also, scalar quantity. Work done also, scalar quantity. Now, these are the few important example related to which quantity? Scalar quantity. Illi correct agi nenpidಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Scalar quantity is the physical quantity. It got only magnitude. There is no direction. And vector quantity is the physical quantity. It got both magnitude and direction. Example I already told, it is nothing but weight. I can denote weight of a body is equal to m into g. Remember, it depending on a mass as well as depending on a gravity. Gravity is always acting towards the earth. Adhe ನೀವು moon ತಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ is acting towards the moon. Adhe ನೀವು mass ತಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ is acting towards the Mars. Now our planet is earth, it is acting towards the earth, its value is 9.8. Depending on that, our body got weight. Remember, weight is different, mass is different. Mass if I take, it is a scalar. If I take weight, it is a vector. Idu condition. Again, along with that, we can think about different, so many example related to vector quantity. Like we can think about next example like force. Force is also one of the best example for vector quantity. Force is nothing but, I can say force formalize m into a, mass into acceleration. Dear student, mass is a scalar quantity. Acceleration, a is the vector quantity. It got a magnitude as well as direction. Acceleration may be in any direction. It may be towards north, east, west, or acting towards the center of the earth, anywhere. It got a direction. Automatically, force depending on a mass as well as acceleration. Mass is a scalar and acceleration is the vector. If I multiply scalar to vector, answer becomes vector in case of this. Here also scalar multiplied to vector, answer becomes scalar. Answer becomes, vector. These are the few important things. Again, we can think about example like velocity, or you can think about example like acceleration. All those things comes under which quantity? Vector quantity. Dear student, before starting again this concept, first we learn what is the meaning of motion. What is the meaning of motion? You already learn under motion in a straight line topic. Again I recall the things, then again we start the concept like motion in a plane. First we discuss what is the meaning of motion. Dear student, motion is the physical quantity or one of the term maximum we use it under mechanics. In case of motion, we can think about the three important terms. What are three important terms? Is motion is nothing but it is the change in position of a body. Change in position of a body. Keep this point in your mind. Change in position of a body with respect to change in position of a body with respect to time, and with respect to surrounding. I repeat, motion is nothing but change in position of a body with respect to time and with respect to surrounding. Just imagine this is the pen. I will take the pen from this particular position point to this particular point, and pen position change agide with respect to time and with respect to position. Keep this point in your mind. Change in position of a body with respect to time, with respect to surrounding. Remember this, depending on a surrounding, automatically motions are classified into different types. You learn there are two important major category we call it as dynamics and statics. Keep this point in your mind. First one is called dynamics and the one is called statics. These two are the important type I'm going to explain today. First one is called dynamics, second one is called statics. Dynamics are nothing but with respect to surrounding, automatically body position going to change. Static is nothing but with respect to surrounding, body position not going to change. We call it a state of rest. And remember that dynamics and statics is mainly depending on a surrounding. Why I am saying this example? Remember, rest or motion is mainly depending on an observer, that we call it as surrounding. Remember, for me, any car is moving. Just imagine in the state of motion. Not only that, just imagine, for me, this pen is in the state of rest. For me, this pen in the state of rest. Or any table placed is in the state of rest. Depending on this observer, for me, it is surrounding is me. Just imagine another case, any person, he is standing in a moon. One ವೇಳೆ ಯಾವುದೋ person moon ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಎಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. That person going to see the earth or this classroom. For that person, this pen and me both are in the state of motion because earth is revolving. That's why static and dynamics is mainly depending on our observer, is mainly depending on our surrounding. That's why it is related to observer. Related to observer, we can say that body may be in the state of motion or body may be in the state of rest. Depending on that, we can think about dynamics and statics. Dynamics mainly explaining about state of motion, statics mainly explaining about state of rest. These are the two important conditions. Again, in case of motion, there are different category. Motions are classified into different category. Motion may be we call, first important thing, motion may be translatory. Motion may be translatory or motion may be rotatory or motion may be oscillatory. Remember, these three category of motions are there. Motion may be translatory motion, motion may be rotatory motion, or motion may be oscillatory. I will explain all the term one by one. Motion is said to be translatory in such a way. Translatory motion is the one motion of a body along straight line. Keep this point in your mind. Any body moving along a straight line or motion in a straight line is called translatory motion. Motion of a body along a straight line is called translatory motion. Motion of a body along a straight line. ಯಾವುದೇ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ just imagine rocket is exactly moving vertically above. It is a translatory motion. I will drop the pen from particular height, ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ along y axis, negative y axis. It is just translatory motion. Car is moving exactly in a straight road path. It is a translatory motion. Body is moving along a straight line. And you already learned the topic also, motion in a straight line. If particle or any body moving along a straight line path, that kind of motion we call it as translatory. Second important type we call it as rotatory. Rotatory is nothing but motion of a body along circumference of a circle. Keep that point in your mind. Motion of a body along circumference of circle. Any particle moving in a circumference of a circle. Just imagine if I take one stone, I tie the stone by using one thread. I start rotating the stone like this. How the stone is moving? In a circular path. ಈ ತರ ತಿರುಗುತ್ತೆ. Again, you already know about joint wheel. Again, we already know about wheel or cycle wheel or car moving on a road. Tire ನೋಡಿ. All those are the best example for rotatory motion, motion of particle along circumference of a circle. If you take a smaller example like electrons are moving in an orbit. According to Bohr's concept, according to Bohr's atomic model, you heard about that. According to Bohr's atomic model, electrons are revolving around a nucleus in a circular orbit. In a circular orbit, that we call it as a rotatory motion. If any particle moving along a circumference of a circle, that type of system we call it as rotatory motion. Any particle moving along a circumference of a circle, that type of motion we call it as rotatory motion. Next, third important category we call it as oscillatory motion. Oscillatory motion is called to or fro type of motion. It is a periodic. In some cases, it is a periodic. True or fro type of motion we call it as oscillatory. Dear student, remember this. Under motion there are three important combination. First combination we call it as translatory, motion of a body or particle along straight line. Second category we call it as rotatory, motion of a body along circumference of a circle. Third category we call it as oscillatory, motion is like to or fro. In a few cases that motion may be or oscillatory motion may be periodic. Periodic anta helidre after certain interval of time it will repeat. That we call it as oscillatory periodic motion. Example, if we take minutes hand or seconds hand or hours hand in a clock, it's going to moving in a circular circumference of a circle. It is oscillatory. It's going to repeat. After each 12 hour, it's going to repeat hours hand. This is a condition. After each minute, minutes hand going to repeat. That we call it as periodic. Puna repeat ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Remember, these are three important terms. These kind of chapters or these kind of concepts we're going to discuss under this concept called motion in a plane. Dear student, first we start with the term vectors. I already given clear idea about vectors. Vectors are the physical quantity. Vectors are the physical quantity vectors are the physical quantity have both magnitude and direction. I repeat, Vectors are the physical quantity, have got both magnitude and direction, that itself we call it as vectors. And again, to represent the vector, we have to think about two important terms. One is magnitude and the one is direction. Next important thing, representation of vector. Representation of vectors. Dear student, to represent the vector, as I told, there are two important terms are required. One is magnitude and the one is direction. I want to indicate both magnitude and direction to represent the vector. To represent the magnitude, we indicate a straight line. Straight line indicate the magnitude, length indicate the magnitude, and direction is indicated by using arrow mark. Remember, arrow mark represent the direction. Remember, length of the straight line represent the magnitude, arrow mark indicate the direction. Here arrow mark indicate the direction. Keep this point in your mind. Arrow mark indicate the direction. Automatically, how one can represent the vector means, vector is represented by using directed straight line. Keep that point in your mind. Directed straight line. Directed straight line. Directed straight line is the representation of vector. Remember, directed straight line is the representation of vector. And again, in case of directed straight line, the straight line represent the magnitude, arrow mark represent the direction. Both magnitude and direction we can see under vectors. That's why physical quantity that is classified in two categories. One is called scalar and the one is called vector. And again, any physical quantity is said to be vector. It have both magnitude and direction. Straight line represent the magnitude, arrow mark represent the direction. Automatically, to representation of vector we can say directed straight line. Again, if I indicate this particular point is O, that the point O we call it as tail part of the vector, and this particular tip we call it as P, or I denote it as P here, where P is called head. Remember, head represent the direction. From head to tail, whatever length is there, that itself we call it as magnitude. Keep that point in your mind. Itself is called magnitude. That's why directed straight line is the representation of vector. Dear student, why this vector concept is very much essential? The reason is, in case of motion, I already told, motion is the combination of three things. The motion may be translatory, it may be rotatory, or it may be oscillatory. And along with that, motion is also classified into three more categories that we call. Motion may be called as one-dimensional motion. Motion may be called as one-dimensional, or motion may be called as two-dimensional. Motion may be called as two-dimensional, or motion may be called as three-dimensional. This is the one more category of classification of motion. I said motions are the combination of translatory, rotatory, or oscillatory. Along with that, motion is classified into three categories. We call it as one dimension, two dimension, three dimension. Remember, one dimension you already learn, motion along straight line. That itself is called one dimension, motion along straight line. Either particle is moving along strictly x-axis or y-axis or z-axis. Any one particular axis is involved. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು particular axis ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ. Just imagine pen is moving above exactly along positive y-axis. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ exactly along minus negative y-axis. That's why in case of one dimension, we can represent either plus or minus. Automatically upward we can take plus, downward we can take minus or reverse. That's why vector concept is not that much essential in case of one dimension. But in case of two dimension, that is nothing but motion of a body in between any two axes. That we call it as motion in a plane. The chapter number 4, motion in a plane. Remember, this one is the best example for motion in a plane. Any particle moving in between any two axes, x and y. If I provide example like, just imagine is a y-axis, this one is the x-axis. If I throw the ball, or just imagine javelin throw. In case of javelin throw, that object is moving like this. The motion of this body is in between x and y axis. In between x and y axis, any particle is there, that kind we call it as plane. Automatically, to represent the motion in a plane or two-dimensional motion, we need concept like vector. Here we can't take directly plus or minus, but in case of one dimension we take directly plus or minus. Car is moving along positive x-axis plus, negative x-axis reverse minus. Particle is moving upward plus, downward minus. Vector concept is not that much essential in case of one dimension or motion in a straight line. But in two dimension, especially motion in a plane, particle is in between x and y axis. We have to indicate the direction by using concept like vector, by using rules of vector. And third category we call it as three dimension. Three dimension means motion of a body is involved by using all the three axes, x, y, z. All the three axes are involved in that motion, that we call it as three dimension. Just imagine any one leaf falling down. If air is blowing, what happens to leaf? Is fly off like this. ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ leaf. ಒಂದು ಲೀಫ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಏರ್ ಈಸ್ ಬ್ಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಎಟ್ ಅ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಲೀಫ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೀಳುತ್ತೆ. ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ಮೋಷನ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ತ್ರೀ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ x, y, z. Especially we call it as a space. Motion in a space is the best example for three dimension. Dear student, these three are the category: one dimension, two dimension, three dimension. One dimension we call it as straight line, motion along a straight line. Two dimension we call it as a plane, motion in a plane. And again, three dimension is nothing but motion in a space. And depending on this, to represent two dimension and three dimension, especially we make use of vectors. Remember, that is a use of vector. Dear student, to study the two-dimensional motion and three-dimensional motion, vectors are the essential factor. By using rules of vector, by using conditions of vector, one can study the two-dimension and three-dimension motion, especially motion in a plane and motion in a space. These two we can study by using vectors or different types of vectors, or by considering rules of vectors. Again I repeat, remember, vectors are the physical quantity, have both magnitude and direction. To represent the magnitude we have to indicate straight line. To represent the direction you have to taken arrow mark. Remember, one is a tail part, it is denoted as O here, and P, tip of the arrow mark, represent the head part. Here length OP represent the magnitude. Again we can denote it as OP. Remember, OP is the magnitude. Over that, if I write arrow mark, remember this, over that if I write arrow mark, that itself is the representation of vector. Dear student, ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ if I taken this magnitude or length as A, just imagine length as A. To represent this OP as A is the magnitude, above the A I want to indicate arrow mark. Arrow mark represent the magnitude. Therefore, one can read this one as A vector. One can read this one as A vector. That's why I said this vector concept, especially it is required for two important concepts. Is nothing but two dimension and three dimension. To study the particle motion or motion of a body in a two dimension and three dimension, vector concept is essential. Dear student, remaining thing like types of vector and major objective of this topic we'll discuss in next video. Thank you.